It appears one part of the old Soviet Union would rather switch than fight. The parliament in Crimea has voted to join Russia and leave Ukraine. They vowed to put it to a referendum in 10 days' time. It is very clear tonight, once Russia is in some of these areas, they intend to take some territory back with them, to hold it and never let go, perhaps. The U.S. is holding its own military exercises. President Obama announced various punishments today, some aimed at specific Russians, in addition to economic sanctions. Another day of possible diplomacy was lost, in effect. This crisis continues to slide in a bad direction along some old ideological lines. We begin again tonight with our chief foreign affairs correspondent, Andrea Mitchell, in our D.C. newsroom. Andrea, good evening.
Good evening, Brian. And tonight, the president spoke with Vladimir Putin for an hour, emphasizing that a vote by Crimea to break away from Ukraine would violate international law. Ukraine's deep divisions were on full display today. In Crimea, pro-Russia demonstrators cheered as the parliament voted unanimously for a speedy referendum to break from Ukraine and rejoin Russia. Cossacks carried off a topless woman shouting, "Stop Putin's war." Other women surrounded a university student who said, "I don't want to join criminal Russia." While in Donetsk, near Ukraine's border with Russia, Ukrainian police dragged pro-Russia demonstrators out of a government building they'd occupied. But it was Crimea's moves to rejoin Russia that most alarmed the White House.
We are well beyond the days when borders can be redrawn over the heads of democratic leaders.
Today, the administration ramped up economic sanctions. So did the European Union in Brussels, where Ukraine's acting prime minister echoed Ronald Reagan's famous speech at the Berlin Wall.
President Putin, Mr. Putin, tear down this wall, the wall of intimidation, the wall of military aggression.
But it's Crimea that could be a tipping point. Until 1954, it was part of Russia, has been the strategically vital home to Russia's crucial Black Sea naval base since the 18th century, Russia's access to the Mediterranean and beyond. But the U.S. argues there is more recent history.
This world has a new country tonight, Ukraine.
In 1991, Ukraine, including Crimea, voted overwhelmingly to become independent from the former Soviet Union. It later turned over its huge nuclear weapons stockpile. In exchange, Russia, Great Britain, and the U.S. promised not to threaten Ukraine's borders. Now, Vladimir Putin in Sochi today to kick off tomorrow's Paralympic Games is accusing U.S. diplomats like Ambassador Jeffrey Pyatt of meddling. Pyatt rejected that.
Our role here in Ukraine has been a diplomatic one, and to suggest that the dramatic changes that have happened over the past 3 months were somehow instigated by the United States is crazy.
The White House says tonight that the president told President Putin that there have to be direct talks between Russia and the Ukraine, and that Russia has to withdraw to its bases, something it has refused to do. UN Ambassador Samantha Power warned today that today's moves in Crimea increase the risk of military escalation. Brian?
Andrea Mitchell starting us off from our D.C. newsroom tonight. Andrea, thanks. As always, we want to alert you to some of our further coverage on the situation in Ukraine, including Pete Williams reporting on whether Russia is committing an act of war here. It's all on our website tonight, NBCnews.com.